And we're back with the answer to the essential question after the defeat in the last federal election. Is the NDP finished? It certainly got tanked out in Ontario. It barely hung on to power in BC. My guest is André Proulx, who is a freelance journalist. As I say, he is a prairie communist. You are an NDPer from Saskatchewan in the old sense. So I put the question to you. Is the NDP toast?
It's hard to see a way out from where they are right now.
Just because they lost, that doesn't mean they can't win.
But, I mean, they haven't done anything to regroup really since the election, right? And I live in Hamilton Centre, which is supposed to be an NDP stronghold. And if there's any indication that the party is completely out of touch with average Canadians, you just need to look at former NDP MP's social media feed, Matthew Green. Look at his social media feed, where he spends more time talking about Gaza and Israel than he does about issues affecting people in his own constituency. And
is that what happened to the NDP? It got had a very fancy leader, driving a Maserati or whatever it was, and Rolexes, and all these other issues. And the NDP, which used to be the party of labor, real labor,
yes,
used to be a party of the working man and woman. Did they blow it by going on to highfalutin stuff?
It's a political buzzword to say elite, but to say that the NDP has been infiltrated by elites is an understatement. It's academic elites. You talk about what is happening on university campuses right now with regard to censorship and just what you can say and can't say. I think you see more Palestinian flags on Canadian university campuses than you do Canadian flags these days. It's just an indication of what's going on with the NDP. They're more interested in international affairs than they are in, like I said, speaking to issues of housing affordability, that strong social safety net. And like I said, if there's anyone who was more out of touch with what is happening in Canada, it was Matthew Green. Yes, he was visible in the community while he was there, but the messages he was preaching definitely didn't line up with that. And it's the same thing, like you said, with Jagmeet Singh wearing a Rolex, driving in a Maserati. I'm sorry, if you want to be the leader of the working class party, you've got to shop at Moore's. Not a plug at Moore's, but you get the point.
Do you not think that perhaps the NDP said, well, we have delivered for the working people, and now we're going on to other things, the identity politics? I mean, when you have Fred Hahn, head of CUPE in Ontario, his whole deal these days is Hamas, even though if he ever flew there, he'd be killed within 5 seconds. I don't understand that.
It must be nice when you're taking your union dues from the public sector to be so comfortable to be able to just spout off about international affairs as opposed to worrying about your membership. If you want to see another really great divide in what's happening with labor, you need to look no further than what is happening with the public sector and the private sector unions. While we're dealing with abysmally low wages, and that's something you hardly hear anyone in the NDP talk about beyond Jagmeet Singh spouting off about taxing billionaires. But I'm sorry, taxing billionaires isn't going to raise the wages of the average Tim Hortons or McDonald's worker, which frankly deserve to be paid more. You really want to get something done, talk about raising minimum wages, talk about ethical business running. Billionaires aren't the ones who set the policy for the full businesses. Those go top down.
Well, I want to clarify then for the viewers, when you talked about the unions, I mean, public sector unions are fat and well paid.
Yes.
Government, yeah.
Yes. And
we don't need, the NDP working to get, our poor, clerks in Ottawa need another couple of 100,000.
I mean, take a look at Canada Post, for example. I mean, the strength of a union lies when you have leverage over the ownership. And the thing is, Canada Post letter carriers are already better paid than the delivery drivers for Amazon, for UPS, and for FedEx. And doing a bit of research coming onto this segment, these are not people making minimum wage when we're talking about FedEx and UPS. So when you're already outpacing what the private sector is doing, what is it you're asking for? You're literally getting people who would be using Canada Post as a service and getting them to turn to their competitors.
In 40 seconds, tell us what the NDP should be doing to try to get back to its roots and to electoral success, dealing with non-government unions?
We need to be dealing with non-government unions, and we need to be talking and teaching people how to organize, how to lift themselves. You want to talk about bootstrapping it? Organize. Talk to your fellow coworkers who are also disgruntled, sign union cards, and get organized so that you can lift yourself out of poverty rather than waiting for a taxation on the billionaire to trickle down to you. It's not going to happen.
I think you're absolutely right on that. Now, I don't want anybody to perceive that I want the NDP to be successful. But I think that your main point is that it has lost its roots Is absolutely.
We all want the working
although I
class
would
to be
argue
successful. We want
that
the working class to be successful.
I would argue that the Liberal Party has lost its roots too.
I'd agree with
And
that.
they did that with Justin, but that's for another day. André
Definitely.
Proulx, thank you very much for enlightening us. I'm not still going to vote NDP though. Thanks for watching. See you next week.